kickoff introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Ready. Go ready. 55. Too low. Check.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Ito Smith. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Smith. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Yellow.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's checking crap. Check three.
On 1st down, Mahomes. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. A gain of 6 there on 1st. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
Hey, we got 3 down. Yellow. 45 to Mike. Here we go. Check, 45 to Mike. Check, swap. Exit.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's caught. Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 38, Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Grady Jarrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Switch. Kill.
Mahomes going to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. This is caught, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Throwing on second down, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Running right, Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Hey, 43, 15. Check 37.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now this time Mahomes will throw. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet. and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Devin White racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Hey, Haywood. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go. Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58's the Mike. Let's set it.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He sets to fire deep. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Yellow. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come. Attack. Come again. Check 9. 15. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 13. Check 13. Shit. Out.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. I will remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on 2nd and 16, Ryan. He completes it to Jones. Brings it just past the 15, able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing just outside his own goal line. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They are in the second quarter down in Miami. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It's a gain of 35. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime, because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. That's on the right side with Jones. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's a timeout, as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Gay's kick is good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Mike. Gun. 59. You, let him go.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. That's complete to Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire...
Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones. Touchdown number 15 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devin White, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And James has it. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
A gain of 17 yards. And the Falcons 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go one more.
Here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen to Smith. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Again, Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A gain of 32 that time. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing again, Ryan. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hey, Tuesday.
Smith trying to run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2.
Yo. Ready to that? 59. Hey, South. 59. Hey. Ready to that?
Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hatch it.
They'll run it with Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yellow. Party. It's a party now. 45. Come on, 45. Coming to you. Hey, Ridley. Know your job. Slam. Check 52. Nice.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And take it right on the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Come on, easy. Bang, exit. Hey, one set. Check.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still is not really nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Watch tight ends right. Watch straight go.
Now it's Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Hey, check. Don't get nervous. 58, boys, 58.
And the ball is knocked out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Well, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Fire down these two. Go. Shift. Watch the shift.
Hey, 57 color, 57 color.
Protein spill.
Now Jones. About 3 yards there to the 27. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here at Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Watch the backer. Check 50.
From the 27, Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Jones. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Falcons take over.
Let's go, Ford. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
To throw is Ryan. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Tight left. 4 down. Check. 30 wide.
Here's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
Yellow.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Switch up.
Shoot. 50, yellow. Right side.
Now a first down carry by Jones. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hey, watch the ball.
Right side.
They'll go again to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. The Bucs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's complete to the fullback, James Devlin. And he's going to be about a yard or 2 short of the first here. He needed the 35, but didn't make it.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
You're not ready.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Down. Ready.
Mike, 58, right there. You don't want none of it. Give me it. Pick up the ball.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Ryan to throw. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handling it.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And, yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now Ryan. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Bucs take over first and 10
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Buccaneers, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9.